Previously on the Workshop Between Worlds.
Wood is sneaky. I'm building neural pathways, guys. Just doing it the best way I know how right now. I am wondering if I should just start this whole darn thing over with different wood.
And now the stunning conclusion of the Curio Box.
I got new wood. I've been a little sad, and as you can see, did the workshop reno after the explosion of the last time I did the box joint. So I'm gonna start again, and with oak, just straight up oak, and we'll see how it goes. Sorry, countertops. Is my mallet not melody enough? Is my chisel not chisely enough? At this rate, I'll be happy if I get one little tooth out before going to dinner. Maybe that's the way to make it like a lever? Treat it really like a wedge rather than a knife. One down. Now I'm going to dinner. Okay, everybody. It's November. This was supposed to be a Christmas present for last year's Christmas, so hopefully it will be a present for this year's Christmas. I'm gonna try like a mixed methods thing moving forward, so hopefully we can just kind of get it going. I'm gonna saw first and then pound it out if I need to. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Deep breaths, Megan. Oh, unhappy. Not too bad. Here's the real test. Okay, so this one is slightly off. I wonder what happens if I switch it. It's actually a little better. Still, some are a little too thick. This is not going to be a tight fit by any means. Yeah, I'm still having an issue with this bottom bit. Like, I feel like there's a lot of gap in there, but I'm not sure where the disconnect is happening. Here's the part where I splinter it and have to go back to the drawing board. Come down, buddy. Okay. Very gappy, and it's going to be filled with a lot of wood filler, but I finally got it done. Hopefully the other ones will be slightly better. Did you find Mama?
Did we find a mama?
Hi.
What did you do?
See? I'm trying to chisel these down so that they fit in these slots.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make a box. This took almost a year. This took about an hour. Action!
What is that?
What's it a video of?
It's a video of a mallet slicing in half a piece of wood.
Oh,
That's very cool.
that's a cool video. People will want to see that. Okay, I have a little bit of time, so I'm going to try and do the last few joints and maybe glue. We'll see how much time I have. My hair's crazy right now. It's super hedgehogging. Just haven't had a chance to get a haircut, but this is where we are. Whoops. You're rushing, Megan. Far over the misty mountains cold, dungeons deep and cavern I think that will work. Right. Last joint. Oh, it's not the last one. Ugh. On the very last one, I decided to work smarter, not harder. As you know, I've been having issues with my sawhorse where it has this big gap where I want to clamp things. So I had this wood here before, but I always struggled between putting this wood on the top and this wood on the bottom at the same time as clamping. So I just bungee corded it to the sawhorse. Oh. Now, one more. For real. Okay, let's try and dry fit this, shall we? This will not splinter. This is not great. To our best. Okay. Oh. Okay. It's box shaped. Very flawed, but box shaped. So I think I might stop for the moment because there was so much banging and my brain is like, nope, no more. I don't feel like problem solving anymore. Then I'll come back to this a little later, maybe see if any of these need to be adjusted. Then we'll glue, maybe mix some sawdust with the glue to try and fill some of these more egregious gaps. And then wood filler for anything else, and then sand. I think we're trucking along. Yeah. Hi. Okay. I don't really know what I want to do. Like, some of these are off, but I'm not 100% sure why some of them are. I think some of them might need to be trimmed a little bit, the little angles, but I also don't want to trim them too far. And then it's glue and maybe wood filler and then sanding. I'm so nervous about this. Let's see what we can do. So there are like gaps that I can't really comprehend why they're there. Like, is that too thick? Is this the problem? That's a little better, but it's still not. Like, do I need to make these deeper? I'm gonna carve this away until there's nothing left. Part of the issue is that I think I overshot on my saw, so I've got these like little bumpies. I was just hoping to glue today. I don't know that I fixed any problems. Well, it looks beautiful here. It looks terrible there. This is a little too loose now. I've tried to straighten out the little weird bits. Okay. Needs to go in a little bit. Like what that says. A little bit, but not a lot. See what's going on? Neither of them can be flush. And so we either got the gap on one side, or we got the gap on the other, and I don't know why. Well, this is not what you want in a box joint, but I'm hoping glue and wood filler will really help. Oh. And again, I am breaking my promise to not fuck up my nice brushes. I'm gonna have to get new ones. I just don't have any other way of applying this right now. This is another one of those situations where I'm like, I'm sure there's a reasonable way to do this that I'm not thinking of. Oh yeah, I just thought of at least one. Let me get this set and then I'll do it. Do it that way. Of course, this is the one that's tough. Okay, is any of this square? Anyone know how to fix something like this? But I'm already gluing it, so I don't know if there's anything I can do. Well, I'm just gonna put a lot of glue in the cracks and hope for the best, I think. Let's see. It's only a little noticeable. Mix glue and some sawdust. That's what I have heard that you should do. Glue and sawdust. Hopefully I won't glue the clamps to this thing. Wood filler is what it's gonna have to be. Yeah, I don't know how to get it square. I feel like that's gonna cause me a lot of problems in the future, but I do not have any ideas right now. Okay, I'm gonna leave it be for a bit and we'll see what happens. I think the next step would be filling everything with wood filler and then letting that dry and then sanding. We haven't even gotten to the back or the shelves yet. Hopefully those will be a little easier, though with the not squareness, I'm not sure. And the fact that I don't really have a plan of how to stick those in there aside from more wood glue. Oh, I'm just not gonna think about it until we get there. keep on trucking. Oh. That's good. None of it. None of the clamps attached to it, which is what I was figuring. The bottom's level. So hopefully it won't be too bad. Alright, so as you can see, the glue was not filling enough, so I'm gonna try and get some wood filler in there. Oh, come on, really? I just went to the hardware store, y'all. Oh! Definitely should have worn an apron. Okay, so ideally this will take away a lot of the gaps, and then I'll be able to sand the excess away before either painting or staining. Originally I was going to stain it to kind of emphasize the box joint, but now I'm not so sure that that will be an attractive thing, so I'm toying with the idea of painting it. We'll see. It seems pretty solid, which is nice. Now to sand. This is one of those instances where it would have been nice to have the vise set up on my workbench, but I still haven't really figured out a good place to put it, so we'll be using my knees. Let's hope this works.
Yeah, these actually don't look too terrible. I'm kind of happy with that. I mean, you can definitely see that there's a lot of wood filler in there. And maybe with the staining, you won't be able to notice it that much. I am your father.
I am absolutely flabbergasted. Look. It looks like a box joint. Like, granted, there are some places where, like, that is like a mix of wood glue and water and the clamp turning this black. I don't know why, but like, this is shocking to me. And there's still areas definitely where you can see the flaws, but I could potentially get away with staining it, I think. I was not prepared for success on this. Though, I say that right before trying to figure out how to fit the shelves in here. So that'll be its own special time. I always have to... Crikey. I think I'm going to try and glue the back on to this, because then that will help me figure out the depth needed for the shelves, and also it's something I can do right now that then I can leave for a little bit of time and then be ready to do something else tomorrow. Here is the lovely back, and this should be fairly simple. It's just like putting a back on. And I went and got these at Home Depot, so don't have to worry about me destroying brushes for a while. Alright, this is Megan, signing off until later. Hopefully the next time you'll see me, I'll have a better haircut. Okay, it is cold in here. What is it? My nose is froze.
And my ears are froze. And my toes are froze.
So, today we're going to figure out the shelves. What I imagine is that we cut 2 horizontal pieces and one vertical piece, and we put notches into each of them so that they do this thing. Yeah. And then we glue it. I want to do something more secure, but like any sort of L brackets would kind of mess up the lines of things. And then I don't think any brad gun would get something that thin, the thin the shelf is. So we're going to go with glue and hope for the best. Here's the status of the box right now. From far away, it looks pretty good. It does have a little bit of a wobble. I'm hoping that we will just hang it on the wall and nobody will notice. I am not sure how this happened because I really tried to line it up, but somehow, like, I think I lined it up on the bottom, but then because everything is slightly canted, it's over on this side and under on that side, but this part is square, so I don't know. One more little piece of rustic artisan organic charm to this thing. But yeah, let's Messerschmitt. A Messerschmitt.
A whole mess of Messerschmitt.
Let's measure some shelves. You kind of missed me measuring the box. I did not film that, and the whole debate about pencils versus Sharpies and whether or not I have one, and the fact that I'm watching Lost. Just to catch you all up. I probably should clamp this. Yes. You weren't responsible yesterday. Be responsible today. Wow. I just ate that. That was real fast. Smells nice. Look at this. Ha! I always feel weirdly presentational with the camera of like, here. But it's either that or you just see my butt. I need to sharpen. Ooh. Very manly. You, everybody. Alright, fine. You remember how I said I would keep the workshop clean? Oh, very organic with that. Look at that swerve. Oh no. How do I fix something that's so close to the edge? Sanding? Sanding. Still not like perfect, but better than it was. Someday I'll figure out how to get the thing I'm doing in my face in the same shot without becoming the Hunchback of Notre Dame. But it is not this day. Okay, so on the surface it looks great, but it's in there pretty loosely, and I am worried that glue will not fill that gap. Worst comes to worst, I can stick L brackets maybe here, like very small ones. And now it's time to try and measure the vertical. So that's kind of nice. This is like a total of a foot in between. So if I divide a foot by 3, 4? No. Yes. 4 inches. 6, 7, 8. Haha! Okay, that looks relatively even. Possibly a little too much on that one side. No, it's about even. So 4 inches. So if I get a foot-long thing and then cut notches in it that are at 4 and 8 inches, in theory that should work. Again, I don't know if I recorded any of that brilliant math, probably not. But I figured out the center of the shelves, and now I am counting by quarters because it's 3 1/4. There are 3 1/4, 13 quarters, so half of 12 quarters is 6 quarters, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus half of a quarter, which is right here. I'm wondering if it needs to be bigger than that. I don't want to make it too much bigger. And it does. How do I make it bigger than the saw blade that I have? But just like 2 saw blade widths. Well, that's that way. Oh, this wood is so splintery. Still not big enough. Interesting. I bet you're too big now. It's kind of too big. See? Just a little too deep. So now what? Do I start again? I don't wanna. Or at least I have to start again on one of them. So I cut out another one and traced the slot. I realize I have to fix that bump at the bottom, but hopefully that will be better. Not great, but more wood glue and filler in our future, I see. Next is cut a 1-foot piece out of this and slot it in there in theory. As you can see, we have gotten to this point, so I'm going to measure where the slots should be on the long vertical one and hopefully slot it in. Things I am learning. I apparently have speeds on my jigsaw, and I've been using the thick wood speed, so that's probably why my cuts are a little all over the place. I am gonna try with the correct speed and see what happens. See? Getting smarter every day. That was much better. Oh. Okay. Too deep. About right. So the question is, how much do I care? Y'all, think about where we were like a year ago. We did not expect to get this far. I think I'm gonna fix this part by like sanding this down a little bit to maybe make it match this, because I think this is a little bit of a bump. And then sand and figure out how to attach this all together. Okay, it is glue time, and I am not very confident, because as you can see, I don't fit very snugly, but I am hoping glue and then eventually wood filler will help with that. So we'll start with glue. And clean up some of the excess glue and then let it sit for a bit. So I think that is it for today. Matthias has requested when he comes home that we make mint chocolate chip ice cream cookies, and I have to figure out how to do that. So see you later. Okay, I am back from the hardware store. It's you know, a week or two later. And they didn't have my usual wood filler, so I got this. I have no idea how it works, so we're gonna discover that together. It smells pungent. Do I tear you? Okay, what is this? Cream hardener. I'm intimidated. Yeah, it just tells me what not to do with it. So I'm supposed to put like this in a gloopiness and then mix it with the hardener and then apply it, I think. But I don't know that I like that. Here's the hardener. It's blue.
This just seems like none of my business.
Okay, doesn't look great right now, but I'm hoping that it can be easily sanded out and then we will paint. It is so cold in here and it still smells really bad, but I'm gonna try and sand out the green gook and hopefully it will look nice. Okay, so it's still kind of funky on the inside. I think my plan is to stain the outside and paint the inside black, just so that some of the more egregious things are not as noticeable. We'll see how that goes. Can't find my flathead screwdriver, so this is what we got right now. This is the conditioner. Alright, I'll either be back in 30 minutes or several days. Okay, it's the next day. Matthias is off to school. I have a few minutes before I'm technically supposed to start work because I'm working from home. So I'm gonna stain this thing. We're almost there. We're getting there. We're working towards it. Still can't find my flathead. I bet it's upstairs in the take downstairs bin. I'm not used to staining such a small surface that I have to actually wait for it. Usually by the time I finish staining one side, the other side is ready to get wiped. Okay, so here we are right now. Still not as dark as I want, but darker. Now I'm gonna kind of prep the outside and like cover it so it doesn't get painted, and then I am going to prime the inside so then I can paint it black, I think. A dream is a wish your heart makes. Your heart aches. Whatever you wish for, you can. And someday your rainbow will come. Smiling I love tinfoil. Alright, everybody. Fingers crossed. Okay, primed, and then I have to figure out if I have any black paint. Okay, this is the paint that I have. I wish that I had black kind of glossed spray paints. I used to, but I feel like I used that all up in last Christmas's coat ladder, which I'll insert footage of here. So now we are going to paint this thing. Okay, here we are. You can kind of see where the primer wasn't completely dry, so we've got some gray streakies in there. I did really try to get out texture bumpies. Like I went over it again with like a more wet brush, so I'm hoping that it won't be kind of really textury. I really wanted it to be kind of flat, but we'll see what happens with the second coat. It's been a while since I sat here and painted. I'm a little worried because my neighbor went to the hospital last night. And I hope she'll be okay. I'm gonna be able to get this to her for Christmas. She's a really wonderful person. She's very kind, very welcoming. She was the first one to say hi when we moved into the new bed. She's been through a lot, but she's found some wonderful happiness. She is so generous of her time and her resources. And I just love hanging out with her. So this is for you. Made with love, if not exactly skill. It's one of the things I admire most about her is even when things don't work out the way you planned, there are ways to persevere and pivot and keep on going with life, as well as with like making things and gardening and whatnot. So her perseverance and her adaptability and her shining heart are really valuable to me and to our whole family. And her mom and husband are the sweetest. Her mom is the one who is a really amazing DIYer who is giving me a lot of her stuff. And whenever I need a particular kind of power tool, her husband's always there. This is an imperfect tribute to their tenacity and their perseverance and their kindness. And hopefully as they watch this video, they will see how much of those qualities, at least the tenacity and perseverance, I have poured into this. It is as much the thing itself as the gift of demonstrating the qualities that they show every day. Okay, we want to leave it alone for a little more time. Yeah. Okay, moment of truth. We've got like a little ridge of white around, but it seems to be peeling off. What do you think? Okay, so I had an idea for the box. Since the black looked a little too abyss-like, I was thinking of maybe adding a little bit of blue to it and adding some stars and sparkles. It might be too much, but I'm gonna try to see if we can get like a little pop of beauty in the back there. crossed that that sticks, and if not, we're gonna use some Mod Podge. So, the stars did not stick, so I'm gonna dump them out, Mod Podge them in, maybe with some little extra sparkle glitter. We'll see how that looks. Oh, some of them are still in there. That's nice. Glitter in the Mod Podge. Hopefully it's not too crazy. Well, the stars are getting moved around. Salt Bay! Looks real messy. I don't like that. I hope it will dry and not be noticeable. Am I really loud right now? I'm just like right up on this camera. Alright. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get incredibly goopy and strange. Okay, time for getting ready for family Christmas. Okay, so we've still got some white bits, which concern me, but the internet tells me that it just means that that hasn't fully cured yet. So I'm hoping that the parts where I may have laid it on a bit thick or that it pooled in the corners will eventually become clear. I think in the meantime, I gotta put on the back hardware and then spray the other parts of it with polyurethane. So yeah, that'll be the next step. But hopefully those white spots will go away. I think this is probably the sturdiest option depending on what they're going to put on the shelf, but I'm very scared to drill. And also I'm not really sure how to make this so that they hang evenly, because as we know, this thing is not straight. I'll just go with the information I have. Let's say 1 inch from the top, 1 inch from the top. Does that look straight to y'all? Doesn't look straight to me. Oh, fuck a duck. Ooh. Painter's tape is the real MVP of all this. Did not break through. I'm gonna measure again. I know this is probably terrifying for you because my camera's crooked and everything looks awful, and it doesn't mean you're wrong. Oh!
That is not good.
What? What the hell? So the screw head's off and the screw is in there? Somehow? Can I drill on top of this? Probably not. Hoping if I just go a little bit higher, it'll be okay. Okay. Well, not the most perfect. Hopefully they'll have an idea of how to hang this in a way that makes sense. Maybe even with just like a string. So it's still not getting dry. There's still little white bits on it. So I think part of it is because it's been in the freezing cold garage. But the bean and I are going to try and de-whitify the box by drying it or undrying it, melting it, that's the word, with a hairdryer. And then hopefully spreading it out a little bit. So that's option number 1. Let's test it out. You ready for a loud sound? You gonna bring your snacks over? All right, ready? On your mark, get set, go.
That was too much fire.
This might take a little time. I don't know that this will be... Oh, maybe. It's gotten a bit gooey. Hey y'all, I finished it. I will try and keep this brief because this video is very, very long. I'm really proud of it. This is one of the more complex things that I have built out of wood, and I learned a lot. So we'll talk about that now. The first lesson is measure 1,000,000 times. Just to make sure that something small hasn't moved, or somehow the wood swelled, or you were looking at a different side. Measure 1,000,000 times. It's boring, but necessary. Number 2, there are settings. Check your tools to see, especially if you've gotten them secondhand, to see what settings there are that will make things easier for you or not eat up your wood. There are settings for tools and also for life. Find the right setting for what you're trying to do. And number 3, most things can be solved with painter's tape and tinfoil. They were the MVPs of this project. And honestly, looking at a lot of YouTube videos, it seems like a lot of really cool things can be created starting with painter's tape or masking tape or tinfoil to kind of create formers or shapes. So I'm excited to use them in the future. So that is it. That is the end of a year-long saga. It's February, by the way. Happy Valentine's Day. This small project turned out to be much larger than I expected, so don't let size be an indicator of complexity. I have a few actual small projects coming up, hopefully with only one part, and then a big honkin' several years long project that I am hoping to complete this spring, so look forward to that. If you want to stick around and see more shenanigans, see me fall on my face and try again, like, subscribe. I would love it if you could comment on what you liked about the video, what questions you have, what projects you are working on that are similar, or any advice that you have for me if I ever do this in the future. So I want to really kind of build a community of people making things. So I hope to see you around the workshop. Bye. Oh, and I was able to give it to her on Christmas Day, and they seemed to like it, so hooray! Hi neighbors, happy Valentines!